Well, I guess this finally puts the debate of whether or not the modern American left can be patriotic, doesn't it? A couple of months ago, I remember going on Twitter and I said that they can't be patriotic. To which a lot of leftist people took umbrage and they said, how do you know? Like, there are so many people on the left, how do you know that they can't be patriotic? And my argument was, like, if your worldview is that the United States is a heteronormative, cisgender, patriarchy, systemically racist nation which abuses its own people, how can you be patriotic to that? The only reason right-wingers are patriotic is because they do not access to that worldview. But if you genuinely believe that, then being patriotic to such a nation would probably make you an evil person. And by the way, happy 4th of July. Apparently, the city of Orlando didn't appreciate the celebration that much. As we see here, yikes. It's on Twitter. On Twitter, you have to yikes. Is this your official position? So, shitty news. A lot of people probably don't want to celebrate our nation right now, and we can't blame them, says the official of the shitty. When there is so much division, hate, and unrest, why on earth would you want to have a party celebrating it? But in all seriousness, you know in your heart 4th of July fireworks are amazing, especially when you're standing in 90 degrees heat and humidity next to 100,000 of your closest friends. In that moment, something takes over and we all become united in an inexplicable bond. Yes, America is in strife right now, but you know what? We already bought the fireworks. So, in other words, they really dislike this holiday, but since the fireworks have been bought, let's enjoy it. Beautiful. You know what divides America? I will tell you, identity politics. And this is what the left focuses on. This is what they need more and more of it. Here's the idea of how the US was built. You take different people from Europe with cultures quite dissimilar to one another. I mean, they were speaking different languages. They were having different religions. Some of them were Catholic, some of them were Protestant. And you have to put them all together into one nation. Very difficult because in Europe you had 2 world wars. Like all these people from different cultures took up arms and started killing each other. In America, you didn't have that. Why? Because you brought all these people together. And how did you do that? Under the flag, one nation, united, under God. Meaning, not only do they come from different countries, now you speak English. I mean, if the Germans made the effort to speak English, surely you can as well. The culture. You're allowed to have different cultures, but at the end of the day, there is the American culture. And as long as you're not actively getting against it, you're free to do whatever you want. So, for example, human sacrifices. Well, that goes against American culture. Drinking wine on Christmas, that's fine. You know, celebrating Hanukkah, that's fine. Marrying multiple wives, that's not fine. Goes against American culture. So, that was how it was done. The Pledge of Allegiance, all of these things were with the focus of uniting people. But then comes multiculturalism. And multiculturalism says that no, in America there are many cultures and we need to preserve them no matter what. So be careful you don't do cultural appropriation. Like you don't take something from a culture that is protected and you use it yourself. That is horrible. The way they write black with capital B because they believe it's like a nation within America, right? So you can't really have the melting pot idea, which used to be in the past. No, now it's multiculturalism. So in one nation, you have smaller nations. And it's a zero-sum game. Like everyone is competing based on arbitrary characteristics. And all the institutions are a struggle where you have like the people from various identities trying to reach the top. So the government has to help the people that are marginalized in the disfavor of everyone else. So when you push that ideology to the extreme, well, you get this type of thinking. And of course, you're going to encourage division. I mean, if you're like saying it's a struggle and that's a zero-sum game at every corporation, at every level, at every institution, then people are going to be distrustful. So distrustful that the corporations realize this. And what they came up with the concept is that multiculturalism prevents unions from forming. Because the concept of a union is that, okay, the corporation is not always having our best interest, the workers. So we need to join hands, us the workers, to protect ourselves from the big company. But if the workers aren't united and they're like, oh, well, based on various identities, And they're like, oh, I'm a non-binary person. The cisgender white employee is out to get me. Like, his interests are against my own. Well, then the workers are struggling against each other, and they're not finding common ground against the people that's on top. So it's divide and conquer, pretty much. This is why most corporations are supporting this, because, as I mentioned before, they realize that multiculturalism doesn't promote union forming. But anyway, right, so there was a lot of backlash, as you can imagine. A lot of people weren't happy with this, so the city of Orlando issued an apology. The city of Orlando sincerely regrets the negative impact on our words. What do you mean our words? It was the words of a person who had the Twitter account, okay? You're not a hive mind, city of Orlando. A person has the account on Twitter. Have had on some in our community. Some. I see. So there were people that supported you, but some, not the overwhelming majority, some were against your statement. We understand these words offended some of our residents, which was not our intent. My God, why can't you talk like a normal human being? Me, myself, I. What is we, our, us? I know there's like pronouns in the Bible, but those are third person, like you're trying to, you know, destroy the concept of the third person. I get that, but like, can you speak in first person now? Like a first person tweet. This is what I want. Me, our, us, we. We value the freedoms we have in this country and are thankful to the men and women who have fought to continue to fight for those. We take pride in celebrating 4th of July to express our gratitude to those men and women and honor the country we live in. Am I the only one who literally hates this hive mind speech? We, us, our, we, blah, blah, blah. Corpus speak, as they call it. But anyway, right, I will tell you what makes a good country, okay? Every single country has issues. There is no country on the face of the earth that doesn't have issues. But that is an objective way of telling which country is good and which country is bad. People vote with their feet. The countries that are good receive people in. Like, people want to go to those countries. The countries that are bad have people moving out. A prison, for example. Not a good place. If it wasn't for the guards, people will run away. But am I wrong with this? You know, a mansion. A mansion is a good place. It has walls to keep people out. They would want to go in. They would want to go there. But what's interesting is after the corpo level apology, you now have Democrats, which are upset that the apology happened. You don't need to apologize. I mean, who cares if you offended people? I mean, normally we care about offending people, but not those people. Those people are fine if you offend them. Your first email captured the tone of how many Americans are feeling right now. It's okay to not be okay. Yeah, but like if you're the representative of a country, do you not think that during the country's holiday you should at least celebrate it? I am willing to bet that even at corporations that have problems, like even at the worst corporations imaginable, like Blizzard, they still celebrate the day Blizzard was founded. I wonder if the Republicans, like, if they're a bad person, right? Like, if they did something bad. If Representative Anna V. Eskimani had a bad year, like, she really let herself down that year. She did a lot of things she's not happy about. Do you think she would still celebrate her birthday? Yes or no? It's like, oh, well, what's the reason to celebrate? I mean, who thinks like that? Let me know what you guys think. And if you're an American, happy 4th of July. Take care.